My name is Margaret Ann Windsor, and I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace in 41 and brought to Moulton, Alabama, and given the name of a twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey, I married Childers. Both twins had been killed by their mother. They had been born out of wedlock. So my identity was stolen, and I was given that of a dead person. So it was a horrible existence. I didn't know about my kidnapping until 1983 when I was flown out to Larry Flint's during a political campaign. I wrote a medical malpractice book. I could never get it published because they just about killed me April the 1st of 80. But I wrote about mind control murders and modifying behavior and programming people so that they could run out and kill, like the Virginia Tech mass shootings next door. What I wanted to put here was um, I never saw Mr. Flint. He furnished me a car for a year, and I never saw my children. Every law in the book's been broken against me. Like I said, I found out about my kidnapping in '83, and the British told me. Um, here's just a copy. This is from Eric Smith. He's a forest ranger. And this has to do with when I wrote the book on mind control, murders that were done, and they were done in patterns. Mind control is invisible, so you can't see it. So it would be hard to prove. Um, the ones that I've spoken of can be proven. There's a long list of them, and Mr. Flint even said, now I was out there twice in '83 during this campaign because the person that shot him was programmed to shoot him. And he said in the end, where they pretend they didn't believe me about the mind control murders, everyone would try to say, well, anyway, let me say this. There's a list, and he also knew of the list of mind control murders. What I want to focus on here was Eric Smith. This was back 3/6 of '04. I had to take to live into the Appalachian Trail in near Roanoke up at Full Heart Knob, and I was thrown on the side of the road. There's no other word for it. I couldn't get a job. I was shut down. I starved. Everything just to live. So this is one of the things that I've told about. They would come out and arrest me. Nobody would stop any of it. Eric and his superior, and I'm not going to name her right at the moment, but Woody was became his superior too. They would come and arrest me on cue, but it wouldn't just be like this birthday. This is Larry Flint. The date, it's not a birthday, and excuse me, but it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I went through hell yesterday, and that's what I want to put down here real quick. Um, they would come out and arrest me, and they even lied about, and Eric told me that Woody lied to Judge Wilson and told him that I threw rocks at them. Well, I knew that was the first I knew about it. But I haven't been back out there except to camp uh, since '07 until recently. Last year I went to North Creek, which is a public federal national forest park. Has 16 sites in it. Very nice. It's by a creek and all that. Should be very nice to go to, especially if you have an immune disorder like me. I'm allergic to chemicals. My immune system attacks itself if I'm around toxic fumes. So I've gone out there seeking refuge and to feel better. Also, other than my jobs were shut down. But now I haven't been out there camping or anything until twice last year. I was at North Creek, and I had a good experience because in the past they had uh, put out pasted out logs that were soaked in formaldehyde, and you can't imagine what that does to me. It shuts down my body, and I start urinating and can't stop. I can't sleep. My eyes pop open, And I've been out there a few times when they did that, and it's sickening. I paid to go out there. I don't have a car, so I pay a cab, and the damage done to my body is unbelievable. First of all, it's illegal. All right. So I hadn't been back until last year. In North Creek, I went out there and had a good experience. So I went back this year in March. Well, they had host that had a $200,000 home on wheels. Isn't that cute? At a little 16 site way out in the boonies, in the national forest, and they burned formaldehyde. Of course, they got a good air conditioning system, so they burned it all night long for a couple, 3 nights. Well, for 3 or 4 nights until I got so sick that I had to come back. So I'd lost the money that I had spent on the cab and to go out there, besides the pain and suffering it did. So now that I'm back to uh, what's just happened, um, the only time I ever went back out to Mountain Pass, and I hope all of this, I wish I could tell it before a court of law, because the law doesn't work for me. Um, I went out the second time about a month ago when I was out at North Creek. Same hosts are there. They did the very same thing. I was only able to stay 3 nights, and I had to get a cab. And I came down to Mountain Pass Road, which is the old trail where I'd camped years ago. I hadn't been out there since '07 or '08. I can't remember. I went out there, and the condition I was in, I was so sick. I had to get some fresh air, and by this time you deplete your money. Fixed income, yeah. But anyway, I got the stuff off, called a cab, and lo and behold, they had shut down the place. They had literally cut trees down and spread it on the little spot. It was kind of like a little inlet where I had tended some years ago. Well, I can hardly walk. The immune system has messed me up. That's caused by having to inhale toxic fumes. I ended up at 76 years old, can't walk hardly, and pulling my stuff. And believe it or not, there's a farms that run right there by the old Appalachian Trail on Mountain Pass where I'm at now. And they burn formaldehyde. It permeates the air. And I moved 3 different times, having to pull it, trying to get away from it back into the forest. Well, I didn't, because on the third move, and I'm so sick by this time I can't stand it, my kidneys and everything are under attack. So I finally camped, and they actually, I don't know how they did that. I've always known them to burn it, but it was so bad that somebody got me out of there, okay? And they went back a couple of days later and cleaned it up and got my tent and everything. So now then, well, I mean, this is all political and deliberate. I'm just going to say that I ended up having to leave where I'm at. I'm right back here, minus all the money that's been. It's a scam, and the police are involved in it. It dawned on me last night when I got back. I was so sick I couldn't stand it. I woke up and I thought, my God, they scammed me. But someone picked me up here, and cab driver that I had known years and years ago. And when I would go, he would use his own vehicle, and he would tell me, well, now, whatever price you think is right. So that's the way it went. He showed up, and I hadn't seen him, and I'm not going to say his name. And I was so sick, I've been kept jumping around, and I used a retired Virginia State Trooper's name, who told me this is how we move you with chemicals, because I have an immune system, and what a way to go. You can move me around and kill me over years, and that's exactly what's happened. So anyway, this cab driver came pick me up, and I thought, my goodness, I haven't seen him since '08. Okay, I paid him, it was $50 to take me from, well, not that far, from Troutville to Thurlane Road, which is not into Roanoke. and I had